Hello, everybody, and welcome to another daily for Rock Irvine. Today's Wednesday, and I wanted to share with you guys some thoughts on miracles. On Sunday we started the conversation, and we were in Acts, of course. That's where we've been, and that's where we'll be for a little while longer. And when we were looking through some of the awesome things that happens in the book of Acts, it's just full of miracles. It's full of miracles that sometimes we easily read through and don't spend a lot of time or stay in awe of what God had just done. And oftentimes we're like that in our own lives, in our daily lives. There's miracles happening all around us that sometimes we just don't recognize. And sometimes our hearts are a little callous to hearing about somebody's miraculous rescue, hearing about somebody's life that was changed, and someone that's accepting Christ. And I don't want to be that way, and I don't want our church to be that way. And so I wanted to talk about some miracles. In the book of Acts, like I said, there's a ton of them. And what I want to do today is focus on reading chapter 9, verses 32 through 43. And some really cool things happen in this short period of time. We see someone who is crippled that is healed. We see someone raised from the dead. And sometimes we can just read through that and just go, okay. But when we stop and think about that, I mean, that should rock our world. And that's something I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss the miracles that we see in the Bible. And I'm not saying every time we see one that we should cry. But I do think that we should recognize that, and it should slow us down and stop and go, wow, is our God an awesome God who does amazing things? And speaking of that, what I want to do a few times, 3 days this week, I want to talk about the miracles that God has done in your life specifically. And I want to teach us, all of us in the church, how to write our own testimony about what God has done in our lives and what He's doing in our lives. 1 Peter 3:15 says, always be prepared to give an answer when asked, why is your life different? Why do you have that hope? And 1 Peter 3:15 is it's something that we should do. It's a command. And so what I want to do is spend some time reading Acts, spend some time in 9:32 through 43. Think about what happened there. And then I want you to act. I want you to take some time and think about what has God done in your life. I want you to, we're going to have a 3-part series of this. And this week, or today, we want to focus on what was your life like without Christ? What were you doing? Where were you headed? Because the reality is sometimes we try so hard to live for something meaningful, but the reality is without Christ in our life, we don't have that hope and that peace and that purpose and the created to live how God wants us to live and to live life to the fullest. So that's what I want you to do, is to think through Acts 9 and what God has done. And then think about your own life. Think about what God has done and start journaling that down. Maybe write it word for word, or maybe you just make bullet points. But just think about where your life was and pray and ask God to remind you of what life was like before Christ. BC. BC in your life. What was it like before Christ? And thank Him for what He saved us from. Not just from salvation. Because that's great. I mean, that's obviously the best thing. But so often we think about the miracle of that is it's in the future. But the reality is He saved us so much today. And think about those things. And ask Him to help you to just sit and marvel in the miracles that we see every day. So have a great one. I'm excited to hear what God's been doing in the exercise that we're looking at as we all work on writing our testimony. So have a great day. God bless.